Evie Ali, Executive Director of the Go Give Project, a non-profit organization based in Sudbury, where temperatures are set to drop to below -30s this weekend. Evie, thank you for joining us tonight. What is it really like out there at the moment, first of all?
Thanks for having me. So, of course, it is very, very cold, and we have quite a significant homeless population here in Greater Sudbury. So we're really just coming together as a community to do everything we can to make sure that our friends in the community are staying as warm and safe as possible.
So you operate an overnight warming center with a capacity of 40 people. You said that there is an issue with the number of people. Are you at capacity already? What's happening?
So we are currently at capacity. We do have a few people waiting outside. I was just there at around 7:30. That being said, we also have a city and fire-approved fire barrel outside, so that's attracting a lot of attention given the drop in temperatures. And we've mobilized our outreach team just to make sure that those who are still out on the streets have access to, at least some safety and supplies.
Yeah, tell me about that a little more, about the street outreach program. When they go out and connect with people, how does that really happen?
So they're out there meeting people where they're at via a mobile unit that carries harm reduction, first aid, and other essential warming supplies such as hand warmers, emergency blankets, and extra layers of clothing. So they will round on encampments just to make sure that those staying in tents are, sustaining themselves well and staying as safe as possible.
Tell me a little more about the resources that are needed at this given point of time, because we know that this is not something like a 24-hour sort of a phenomena. We're talking about at least 2 days minimum, 2 to 3 days when it comes to these really cold temperatures.
I think in instances like this across Ontario, we really need to see an increase in capacity, whether that be through shelter beds or drop-in centers. There really just is not enough facilities to provide sustainable warmth to everybody. Therefore, again, things like mobile outreach become essential.
Talk to me one more time about the people you met about 7:38 earlier in the evening who are still outside. And if you're at complete capacity, like you suggested, what happens to those people?
So there are alternative warming spaces with which, if they're not at capacity, we would be redirecting them there. Unfortunately, due to the drop in temperature, everywhere is at capacity at this time. So it's really just a case of providing safety and comfort measures until a spot opens up. And sometimes that looks like, cycling rotation for individuals that are inside the center to give everybody a chance, to warm up and hopefully prevent that frostbite that's bound to set in.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about how do you think a spot will open up, looking at the fact it's going to be so cold for the next few days, but you answered that question. But let me talk to you about the resources that are needed. People who are watching this broadcast at the moment and want to help, what is it that people can do if they're willing?
There are a number of essential supplies that can provide a great deal of relief. Emergency blankets, the mylar foil ones that you might use when camping or having your sort of vehicle emergency kits, those are, very essential during this cold weather, as well as things like hot claws, hand warmers, the ones that you crack and they heat up very quickly. They can also provide some relief. But at this time, when temperatures do drop as significantly as they have and will be, it really is a touch and go game as far as, providing that respite goes.
These are challenging times, but you're doing some amazing work on the ground. Evie Ali, Executive Director of the Go Give Project. Thank you for joining us tonight, Evie.